Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is James Thomas. I'm currently the Boys Academy South Director. I'd like to take you through a little presentation on our 2021 and 2022 programming for the Boys Academy. Here's our mission statement at King's Hammer. Our mission is to positively impact the development of youth in our community by providing soccer and educational opportunities to young players of all ages and playing abilities, and to create a lifelong passion for the sport of soccer. We play an active role in the leadership, development, and personal growth of our players and staff by being an active member of our community through service, partnerships, and programs. Our ultimate goal as a club is to encourage, inspire, and empower each player and coach to be able to reach the highest level possible within the game and their lives, while helping develop leaders and individuals who will inspire others to do the same. Here's our core values. All club leadership, coaching staff, and players will be guided by these core values. These include respect, leadership, integrity, passion, and creativity. Here's a look at our main key partners as we look at next year. Nike, Soccer Parent Resource Center, Sports Recruits, Healthy Roster, Soccer Village, it's our uniform provider, Techni Football, soccer training app that we utilize within a lot of our younger age groups, Playmetrics, which is our fully integrated club operating system, and then Beacon Orthopedics and Christ Hospital. Now let's get into our development pathways. Here's our club development pathway. And as you can see, at the bottom starts with our Little Lions within the grassroots development and our classic program, which encompasses our U.S. youth and local leagues. As we move up into our club development, you have the premier U.S. youth, local, and regional leagues within that program. What we're here to talk about today is our league development platform, which is our academy, ECNL on the girls' side, and then inclusive of our USL Academy on the boys' side, along with U.S. youth, regional, and national level platforming. And then within our pro development, at the top of the pyramid, our U23 programs, which consist and compete in our women's and men's OVPL. And then at the top of the pyramid, our King's Hammer FC, which is our USL 2 team. Here's a look at the player development pathway. While the last slide encompassed our team development, this is a little bit of a look at the individual player. And as you can see, as it moves from 5v5 all the way up to the 11v11 pro development side, there's a specific focus to each age band and a specific formation. While the formation isn't hard and fast that we have to play that way, we do list this formation and we talk about it with our staff as looking to create players that are comfortable within roles and responsibilities. Through utilizing this system, we look to create players that can seamlessly move from 5v5 into 77 or 77 into 99 and going forward. Those transitional periods only become more comfortable as the vocabulary, as the roles look to be similar and build off of each other. And that's why we have an individual focus within this development pathway, and then also a formation which speaks to the roles and responsibilities that each player might have. Here's a look at our general principles of play. And this is taken directly from our game model. Its main focus here is the four main moments of the game. When we're looking to attack, when we're looking to defend, and both pieces of transition. When in attacking, we're looking to dominate the game through a possession-based style. In defending, we're looking to impose ourselves on the opposition. Both moments of transition, you can see that we're looking for either an immediate reaction in the negative transition, or we're looking for a smart reaction in the positive transition. We recently rolled out our game model to staff and players along with a curriculum this spring. Both documents are living documents. We're continuing to revamp them, continuing to evaluate them, and looking to make them better, to only serve our players and our coaches as well as possible. Now we'll move into looking at some different age bands and the program offerings that we have there. We'll start within our U11 and U12 age bands. Something that we're extremely excited to be announcing for next year for our U10s, U11s, and U12s is PreECL. We will be part of the PreECL Midwest Conference for next season. Our 2010 and 2011, so next year's U11 and U12 Academy age groups will play in the Midwest PreECL. It's an elite platform to prepare our youngest Academy age groups to play at a high level against other regional competition and top clubs in our region. Our North and South Red Academy teams will come together and combine to compete within this platform. Teams will also have a monthly combined training session during the Center of Excellence, which we'll talk about in subsequent slides, in preparation for the PreECL. The clubs that are included in this platform: Ohio Premier out of Columbus, Global City, FC Pride out of Indianapolis, Ohio Elite, which is here in Cincinnati, Pace Setter, which is in the Maumee, Toledo area, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and then Western New York Flash. PreECL season will consist of league matches as well as fall and spring hosted events. There's more information to come out on the schedule and the specifics of the league throughout the summer as the scheduling takes place. But again, we're extremely excited to announce this platform, extremely excited for our youngest age groups to be in this regional platform and playing against some of the best teams in the region. Along with that, for our 11s and 12s, will be the Center of Excellence. And for many of you that have been within the academy or have older kids that have been in the academy, our third night of training was generally called EPT. We've revamped our EPT nights to expand our Center of Excellence, which is starting this year for our 8s, 9s, and 10s, into our 11s and 12s age groups within the academy. So a little bit different look to that third night of training. Center of Excellence, it's going to include many different topics. It will include technical training. It will still include EPT, which is our elite performance training with our CPT staff. CPT is Cincinnati Performance Trainers. They come in and work with our players, speed and agility, SAQ work, body weight movements, squats and things of that nature. And then also we will be including functional training. So our position-specific training, where position groups will be able to work in position-specific movements, position-specific technical work, and rotate within those. And then also we'll be able to provide a level of game realistic training. So 7v7, 9v9, up to 11v11 training on those certain nights. We're looking forward to the Center of Excellence providing opportunities for staff education, for age group assessment, as well as motor and technical skill development. As we move forward into our U13 through U19 groups, these groups will play in the U.S. youth soccer-based platforms, and you can see the pyramid here for all of our U13 through U19 teams. At the base level, the bottom of the pyramid would be our state leagues, our U.S. Youth Soccer, Ohio South, or Kentucky leagues, depending on the state that you are associated with. Whether that be Ohio South State League or KPL being the state leagues, our local leagues inclusive of Buckeye, TPL, and then GCSL. As we move up that pyramid, we get into the U.S. Youth Regional Leagues, which we are participating in the Great Lakes Conference. At 13 and 14, it would be within the Premier 1, Premier 2 with First Division. And then 15 through 19, our top red teams compete in the Great Lakes Conference club versus club division. And that's been a very good platform for our 15s through 19s. As we get a little bit higher, we talk about the National Championship Series, that inclusive of State Cup and President's Cup at the state level, and then also at the regional level. So Region 2 State Cup and Region 2 President's Cup regionals. For the teams that advance further than that, there's also the National Championship Series, or the NCS, and then President's Cup Nationals. New for next year is a return to the conventional National League format, and they're calling it National League PRO, which will consist of 2 events for the top 48 teams The top 48 teams, that's based off of the prior year's competition within Great Lakes, as well as the teams that advanced to the National Championship Series. Here's a look at the different events, showcases, and tournaments that our teams generally participate in. 11 and 12, there will be 3 events plus State Cup. 15 through 19, there would be 4 events plus State Cup, and that's obviously depending on the number of leagues that your team participates in. If it is 2 leagues, those numbers would be consistent. If it is 1 league, there would be 1 extra event that you would participate in. As you can see, our 11s through 14s, a little bit more regionally based, a little bit more local events. As we get into 15 through 19, especially 17 through 19, which are the prime collegiate recruiting ages, we definitely start to broaden that net a little bit, inclusive of showcases, Disney, Jefferson Cup, Crossroads, Gateway, Castle. We definitely want to put our players in the best situation possible for college recruiting. Here's a look at our competition calendar. It's kind of broken up into 3 seasons. Our fall season commences in August and basically runs through December. 11s through 14 season is August through the end of October, the beginning of November, along with our trapped U15 age group. They begin training in August and run through October. The late fall period is when our 15s through 19s resume training and in preparation for the fall showcase events and for our red teams, and inclusive of the Disney showcase in December. Our winter training period resumes mid-January, runs through the end of February, where teams will train twice a week, where we utilize the UC bubble as well as Town and Country to provide that training. And then our spring season starts in March and runs through June or July, depending on how far teams may advance in the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championship Series. Here's a look at our training and game facilities. And these are the main ones that we utilize. We utilize the UC bubble for our winter training, as we talked about in the competition calendar. The NKU Stadium, our main site being Town and Country Sports Complex. We also utilize Withrow, St. Ursula, as well as Brossart, Bishop Brossart High School. This slide just gives an outline of the Academy program fees for next year, along with a link if you'd like to go and view this on the website. But the top portion here is our 11 through 19 fee structure. Also gives you a brief rundown of many of the things that we've gone over and what the fee includes. And then also the fee for the fall trap team. For any of those U15 players that are actually still in 8th grade to come training 2 times a week. And it includes 1 league and 1 tournament as well. Next, we'd like to just go into a few FAQs. And these are 3 questions that we've gotten pretty consistently since the announcement of the Academy programming for next year. But by all means, we know that there's going to be further questions. If you do have any further questions, I definitely encourage you, please reach out through email. My email address is james@kingshammer.com. I'll be more than happy to answer anything that I can. And if I personally can't answer it, I'll be more than happy to track down the answer for you and get you an answer. First question here, what is the difference between Central Youth and Academy? Many of our U10 parents that have players moving into the U11 and looking to play at the Academy have questions surrounding this. Main differences for us as we look at Central Youth and Academy, obviously the number of nights of training. The youth program currently has 2 nights of training with a 3rd optional night. For the Academy, we have 3 nights of training. We talked about the Center of Excellence being that 3rd night of training at U11. As we move into 13 and 14, that 3rd night goes back to EPT. And then for next year, 15s through 19s, they'll have 3 nights of training with their coach. The other big piece from youth to Academy is the number of tournaments, the number of leagues within the Academy. We feel that trying to provide 2 leagues for our players fosters the most development. Now, not every team will play in 2 leagues because we have to weigh in development there as well. And if it's not appropriate, whatever the second league option is, we will usually add another event to offset that league. But 2 leagues, 3 events at 11 through 12, and then 4 events and 2 leagues, 14 through 19. Second one we get asked a lot, and definitely want to be able to provide answers to here is, what is our relationship with FC Cincinnati? And I couldn't speak highly enough of our relationship with FCC being extremely strong, one of the strongest in the city. We constantly have conversations with them about the discovery program, about players, about our current players that are in FCC, and we've been fortunate enough to send many players into FC Cincinnati. We're constantly having conversations as well about our own programming, how we can elevate that, and how we can support them, and how they can support us. So we fully support them. They have a good relationship with us in supporting what we need as well, and can't speak highly enough of that relationship. Secondary part to that is, what we do for those players that at 12 moving into 13 don't go into FCC. And that's why our academy at 13, we're looking to provide as much possible within that club development pathway for those players, which is why, we're part of the USL Academy. On the girls' side, obviously within the ECNL, we're looking to provide as much as we can for those players. And we still feel like they're in a great spot to go and achieve those goals if they are wanting to play at the next level, whether that be college or beyond. So it's another question that we also received that wanted to provide a little bit of context to, that we want to bring the best players within our academy together at 13 to provide the highest levels possible. Third question here. Ever since we announced the North and South Academy, have kind of gotten questions on not only what the differences are, but why a North and South Academy. And I think one large piece of this is looking to cast the widest net possible for our players. We want to provide the most competitive environment that we can for our players while still providing a level of convenience. So why we have a North and a South Academy is to provide that academy programming without people having to travel a long distance. The other piece of this is we want to bring the best from our local community silos together at certain age groups to provide the highest level competition we can, whether that be U.S. youth soccer leagues, whether that be, regional leagues where we talk about club v club, and at 15, bringing the academies together to create that strongest team. That's why we wanted to provide the academy level in the North and the South, to truly provide the highest level possible for all of our players and as many players as we can while being convenient as well. Thank you again for tuning in. As I said, please reach out if you have any further questions, and please make sure to go in and register for tryouts. 11s and 12s tryouts start next week, 13s through 19s. We start the week after. We look forward to hopefully seeing you at tryouts. Thank you.